He seized the Deathworlder's neck. 5 minutes later, she broke his without a second warning. The detention block of the Varanthi Concordance hummed with atmospheric processors tuned for delicate species. Sergeant Cale Rinn stood outside Cell 7, his 4 crystalline arms crossed in military authority. 15 cycles of decorated service had earned him respect across 3 campaigns. He'd subdued insurgents, fought Kresh warforms, commanded respect through skill and strength, but he'd never encountered a Deathworlder. Lieutenant Ava Locke sat relaxed on the bench, dark hair tied back, gray Terran colonial defense uniform unmarked by concern. She looked like she was waiting for transport, not facing charges of unauthorized entry into Concordant space. Cale had read her file. Human, combat veteran, decorated twice. The warnings about her species made his subsidiary hearts flutter. Earth, a planet with crushing 1.0 G gravity, toxic oxygen levels, predator-filled ecosystems, and weather that leveled cities. The designation Deathworlder had spread across civilized space like a plague. 6 hours, Cale said, his voice melodic. The Arbiter sees you in 3 more. Prepare your defense. Ava's binocular eyes focused with predatory precision. I was delivering medical supplies. People were dying. Your comm arrays were down. Protocol exists for reasons beyond your comprehension. The Concordance does not. She stood. The movement was so fluid it barely registered, yet every instinct in Cale's body screamed danger. You know what's interesting? Ava stepped toward the barrier. 47 star systems, ships that fold space, technology that regrows organs. But you still haven't learned pattern recognition. Every species makes the same mistake. You see our size and think you understand us. You read about our planet and think you're experts. She smiled without warmth. Then you make errors. Cale's hearts accelerated. Something in her eyes triggered ancient prey memories. That field holds 10 times your mass. This cell contained war criminals, augmented soldiers, a Kresh battle form. I can't break out, Ava interrupted. Not worth the paperwork. But here's what concerns me. You've been standing there 6 hours and not one guard noticed the obvious. Noticed what? I'm not locked in here with you. Her smile widened. You're locked out there with me. Cale's derision manifested as soft chiming. Varanthi laughter. Deathworlder arrogance exceeds reality. Want to test that? His hand moved toward his comm unit, but ego made him pause. The field generators are outside your cell. Even breaching the aluminum would get you paralyzed in 3 steps. Want to bet? Cale's upper right hand touched the control panel. His telepathic abilities interfaced with the technology. Strength maximum, molecular cohesion 99.7%. Emergency shutdown requiring command authorization. He deactivated it. The barrier simply ceased to exist. Ava didn't charge. She watched him with those unsettling eyes. What are you waiting for, Deathworlder? Kyle spread his lower arms mockingly. Show me this legendary human ferocity. You sure? I have subdued insurgents on 4 worlds. He moved faster than possible, hands shooting for her throat, intending to demonstrate proper prisoner subdual. 3 pressure points would induce unconsciousness. 5 seconds, he calculated. His hands closed around her neck. Ava didn't struggle. She looked at him with profound disappointment. 5 minutes. Let go, apologize, reactivate that barrier. After that, I stopped being professional. Cale squeezed harder. His telepathic kinesthetic awareness told him exactly how much pressure to apply. He felt her pulse, steady, slow. Muscles relaxed. She wasn't struggling because she didn't need to. 1 minute. On Earth, we have crocodiles, ancient predators with 3,000-pound bite force. But the muscles opening their jaws? Relatively weak. You can hold a crocodile's mouth shut with just your hands. Cale tried pulling back, but pride trapped him more than any cell. 2 minutes. Muscles work in pairs, and humans evolved to throw, swing, grapple. Our arms, shoulders, backs generate force you cannot imagine. 3 minutes. Last chance. Cale's training finally overrode ego. He tried releasing her, but Ava's hands tightened over his. Too late. 4 minutes would have been acceptable. But you squeezed harder at minute 3. That made this personal. What happened next took 2 seconds. Ava twisted, wrenching his arms sideways, joints straining at impossible angles. Her legs trapped his lower arms in a blur. Then she was behind him. One arm around his neck, the other controlling his upper right arm with mechanical precision. Rear naked choke. 8 seconds until unconsciousness. 15 until permanent damage. 25 to 30 until death, Kel thrashed uselessly. His hand scrabbled at her immovable arm. But I'm not killing you. Know why? Because I hate paperwork. The pressure released. Cale collapsed, all four arms clutching his neck. Above him, Ava stood with hands clasped behind her back, looking mildly disappointed. Here's what happens next. You go to medical. Tell them you had an accident during inspection. Then expedite my meeting with the arbiter, who'll review my logs, confirm my story, and release me with an apology. Clear? Cale nodded, pride shattered. Good. Ava stepped back into her cell and sat down. And Sergeant? Next time you meet a Deathworlder, remember, we don't come from a harsh planet because we're tough. We're tough because anything else died out millions of years ago. Natural selection doesn't care about fairness. Cale crawled toward the corridor, training meaningless against evolutionary superiority. Behind him, the barrier reactivated. Ava had triggered it herself. One thought dominated his consciousness. The warnings hadn't gone far enough. Deathworlders weren't just dangerous. They were apex predators playing at civilization, and humanity's 5-minute warning was more mercy than most species would ever receive.